Hey there, and welcome to this explainer. So, I was recently diving into some absolutely fascinating research on networking, and honestly, it completely changed how I look at personal and professional growth. If you've ever felt like your progress has hit, a bit of a plateau, well, you're in the exact right place. Today, we're unpacking this brilliant concept called adventure beyond your bubble. It's all about becoming the strategic architect of your own social capital. Instead of just letting your network happen by accident, we're talking about intentionally building these diverse webs of connection that reach way, way past your immediate everyday social circle. Let's kick things off with a simple but deeply revealing question. Where do your new ideas actually come from? Take a second to really think about your current social bubble. Who are you talking to every single day? You see, it's so incredibly easy to fall into the trap of chatting with the exact same 5 people, day in and day out. We kind of just assume that if we hang around the same group long enough, somebody will eventually spark the next big breakthrough, right? But the research we're looking at today actively challenges that assumption. Think about it. If everyone around you is seeing the exact same information, reading the same articles, and living the same daily grind, how can truly new perspectives ever break through? Well, they simply can't. So here's how we're going to unpack all this today. First up, escaping your social bubble. Then we'll look at bridging and linking capital. Third is the power of structural holes. And finally, we'll put it all to the test with the broker experiment.
All right, let's jump right into section 1, escaping your social bubble.
The research points out this massive trap that literally all of us fall into, which is the danger of the comfort zone. And let's be real, we love our comfort zones because they feel so incredibly safe. Hanging out with people exactly like us just takes so much less energy. We don't have to constantly explain our jokes or justify our viewpoints or prove ourselves. But the trade-off here is absolutely huge. Staying siloed inside this cozy little space actively hinders our growth. The findings are super clear. If you really want to get ahead, you have to recognize this comfort zone for what it actually is, a trap for accelerated discovery. You absolutely cannot spark real innovation if you never step foot outside the familiar, safe territory of your everyday routine. Because when we stick strictly to one group, we severely limit our new opportunities and accidentally build this massive echo chamber of ideas. It's like standing in the break room at work and hearing the exact same tired complaints about the coffee machine day after day, just because the same thoughts are endlessly bouncing back and forth. Ultimately, this stagnates your career and personal advancement. You completely miss out on the fresh perspectives that come from the outside. Connecting with people who are vastly different from you, or folks who hold completely different roles, is quite literally the primary way to open up brand new pathways and finally bust out of that echo chamber. Which brings us right to section 2, bridging and linking capital. So, networking actually moves in 2 distinct, actionable directions. First, we've got bridging social capital. Think of this as moving horizontally. It connects you across completely varied interest groups. For example, if your entire social life revolves around the soccer team, bridging capital means going out of your way to, say, grab lunch with someone from the drama club. You're bridging sideways. On the flip side, we have linking social capital. Now, this one moves vertically. It connects you upward with people in positions of power or influence. It's reaching out to an older student to be your mentor, or sitting down with a senior manager to pick their brain about their career path. Mastering both of these, bridging horizontally across peer groups and linking vertically to leaders, forms the ultimate strategy for career advancement. You aren't just blindly handing out business cards at random events. No, you are acting like a spider, weaving a highly deliberate web. You absolutely need that horizontal reach to discover diverse, out-of-the-box ideas, and you definitely need the vertical reach to find the resources and the leadership to actually execute them. When you master these 2 keys to discovery, you unlock opportunities that folks who are just stuck in a single bubble will never, ever even see. And that takes us right into section 3, the power of structural holes. Okay, structural holes might sound super academic, but think of it simply as the hidden, empty, silent spaces between 2 totally disconnected groups or communities. Imagine, for instance, the marketing team and the engineering team at a big company. They work in the exact same building, but they literally never speak to each other. That silent space separating them, that right there is a structural hole. And the research highlights a massive secret about this. Groundbreaking new ideas and unexpected opportunities almost always come from the people who choose to step in and bridge those exact gaps. This actually leads to one of the most surprising, totally counterintuitive takeaways from the research: the tremendous value of being an organizational misfit. Now, usually being called a misfit sounds like a pretty bad thing, right? We're taught to fit in nicely with the pack, but the data says no. It encourages us to actively become organizational misfits. By existing inside those structural holes, by intentionally not fitting perfectly into just one single clique, you gain this incredible superpower. You become the master of cross-group collaboration, picking up fresh, cross-pollinated perspectives that the people who are firmly stuck inside their single circles simply cannot see. Let's put this into perspective. Imagine your main hub of activity is sports. Specifically, you're deeply embedded in the soccer team. You can bridge a structural hole simply by reaching out to someone in the drama club. Suddenly, you are the only person in the room who knows what both groups are talking about. Or, say your home base is the arts in the drama club. Well, you bridge the gap by connecting with a tech or science student. And in academics, you can use that linking capital we talked about earlier to connect your peer study group upward with an older student mentor. By identifying these disconnected hubs, you position yourself as the vital link between them. You literally become the spark for innovation that would never have happened otherwise. All right, moving into our fourth and final section, the broker experiment. This is where we bring the concept of strategic positioning into action. It means you don't just sit back and cross your fingers, waiting for serendipitous connections to happen. You actively experiment. You position yourself as the broker of new ideas. And think of a broker not as some boring middleman, but as the catalyst, the spark plug for innovation. You're the one facilitating a connection between parties that previously had absolutely zero contact. By actively choosing to step into that structural hole, you become the essential bridge for accelerated discovery. So you can do your very own structural hole gap analysis right now using 3 super straightforward steps. Step 1, find 2 different clubs, departments, or completely disconnected friend groups in your life right now. Next, step 2, identify a shared hobby, interest, or goal between them, like what common ground exists in that silent space. And finally, step 3, introduce them and bridge the gap. Maybe it's introducing 2 coworkers from different departments who both happen to be obsessed with the same obscure board game. Or, maybe it's joining a brand new weekend class yourself just to intentionally meet diverse people. It really is that straightforward to become an architect of your own social capital. We've explored how to finally escape the echo chamber of your comfort zone. We've learned to master both bridging and linking capital, and we've seen why embracing the role of an organizational misfit is actually your absolute greatest asset. So I'm going to leave you with this one vital, pretty provocative question to think about. Who will you bridge the gap between tomorrow? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, happy connecting!